Hey guys, Bam here. So today I want to share with you what I'll be playing in 326 as a league starter. I'll be playing one of my favorite, the Exsanguinate Mine Trickster. So I know Trickster has been nerfed. So you might ask why play a Trickster now. I still think the ascendancy is good. Of course, the nerf hurts it a bit, but it's still a pretty good ascendancy. So I'll go over the nerf and then we'll talk about the build. So here, Polymath right now is 3% more damage from each different type of mastery you have allocated. In the 326 patch, uh, it will be 2% more. So yeah, it does hurt a bit on the damage, but still with this build we have a lot of damage, so it will not kill it. It will just make it a bit take a bit more time to scale it up, but still it's fine. And the other one is here, Escape Artist. So on the second line it says +1 maximum energy shield per 6 evasion. So this is how it is now. With 326 it will be 1 energy shield per 8 evasion instead, meaning you have a nerf of 33% on that specific um, uh, ascendancy point, but it's still fine. And the reason why I know it's fine is that the last time I played this build, we didn't have a necrotic armor, and the fact that now we have a necrotic armor makes up for those nerfs. So, in my opinion, it's still even better than the last time I played it. So yeah, it's still a great build. So with that being said, I'll go over the leveling PoB. So I made a 1 to 12, a 13 to 30, and then a 31 to 47, followed by a 48 to 68 PoB. So you can check it out. It's pretty straightforward. And then we have a exsanguinate swap. So we're not running exsanguinate from the start because we just can't, but it will still clear pretty fast. So I'll just go over those. So once you start, you will be using rolling magma. You can use any skill that you like. Personally, I like using rolling magma. It's super effective and gets me to level 12 easily. And then at level 13, you can get the lightning trap. So it's actually level 12, but I made it 1327. And yeah, lightning trap will clear pretty fast. If you want, you can still keep the rolling magma, which I would suggest doing for the single target DPS. And for the lightning trap, you would pretty much just lay down a lightning trap here and there to clear the screen. And yeah, it's extremely easy. And then once you get to Act 3, you want to get to the library, sorry, and you want to pick up shield charge, momentum, and faster attacks. And of course, you want to equip a shield in order to shield charge around. That way, it will speed up the process of running through the axe. It's extremely useful. In my opinion, shield charge is like the best movement skill, especially early on. So yeah, you can still combo it with flame dash, so meaning you can shield charge and then flame dash at the end. But yeah, the more attack speed you have, the better the shield charge is. So if you pick up a random pair of gloves with attack speed, even though our attacks, like our mines, are not affected by it, the shield charge is. So it's worth noting that no attack speed is wasted on this build. All right, with that being said, at 28, so this is just after 28, we can actually buy a Pyroclast mine. So make sure you pick it up, and then you can use that skill until you finish the axe. Even keep it while mapping. It's still doing pretty fine on maps. Just at some point, you will have to change to Exsanguinate, and I'll show you exactly where. But yeah, this is what you want to be running. If you want, if you can actually level the support. So what you can do is check the mapping gems instead and check out the support that you would be running. So trap and mine, chain, eye impact, and charge mine and minefield. So what you can do is on your offset of weapons, you can level those, and even exsanguinate once you get it. That way, once you decide to do the swap, it's smoother. You don't have to start from level 1. So this is just a small trick, but let's go back to Pyroclast Mine. So as I said, you can clear all the acts with this, and even some white and even yellow maps. It's still doing fine, but the key moment you want to swap into exsanguinate is when you get a 5 link. So if you find a 5 link into the axe, you can actually use it if you have the currency to change this color and everything, even better. But if not, just wait until you can. And yeah, and then once you have a 5 link, you change to Pyroclast Mine, from Pyroclast Mine to the exsanguinate, and I put those in order. At some point, here as you can see, it has chain. At some point, you will no longer need chain, and I would say just change it with an empower. If you can get an empower 4 later on the road, it's cool, but if you only get an empower level 2 and you leveling it up, it's still good, but yeah. As I said, at some point, you can change the chain, but you can run this setup for a while. So yeah, once you have the 5 links, you can start using exsanguinate. Alright, let's go back to the tree. So, as I said, at 48 to 68, this is the tree, and then once you swap to exsanguinate, it will change a bit. There are some nodes that you will remove. And yeah, I just want to go over some of the trickster points. So Polymath is extremely good, but Swift Killer is the best. So you want to pick up Swift Killer as fast as possible, and then Polymath, even with nerf, it's still good. And then here, Escape Artist is also a must. But then here we have a choice. So what we can do is either, once you get to Uber Lab, you can get Spellbreaker, but you don't need it, especially if your gear is good enough and have suppression on it. Instead, you can get one step ahead, which is extremely cool. Not being slowed, your action speed cannot be below base value. Is really cool, especially for bosses that like put slows on you and stuff like that. So yeah, I prefer this one. But um, if you're not spell suppression cap, you can always get this and prevent 10% of suppressed spell damage while on full energy shield is also cool. So yeah, at first I would say pick this up, and then once you have enough spell suppression on your gear, you can pick up one step ahead instead. But I put it this way, that way you can actually max it easy. And yeah, I want to talk about this wheel here. So this again is for spell suppression. But again, if you get a bunch of spell suppression, you can actually remove all those points and actually allocate it later down the road. And once we get high level, like let's say, yeah, this is the once you act around the red maps, you can do that. And as I said, those points, if you want, you can swap it over depending on your gear. And yeah, that's pretty much it for red maps. And then once we get to higher level, we want to pick up those. Here's the spell mastery here to get an increased mana reservation, power charge, and a socket, which is helpful. Plus the disciple of the forbidden. That way we get 1 to minimum power charge plus 8% increase damage per power charge, which is awesome. And of course a cluster. If you want, you can just start with a medium cluster. This is what I will be doing. And then later on the road, you can pick up a large cluster jewel and have 2 of those medium cluster jewels. So those 2 nodes are the ones you want. Those 2 notables, expert sabotage and guerrilla tactics. Again, you have a spot for a jewel. So in that jewel, here I made it into PoE. You want increase mine throwing speed, which is the best mod you can get on jewel, and increase life if you can. The other mods are cool too if you can get like some spell crit or stuff like that, crit multiplier. It's extremely cool, but it's not needed, and I'm telling you right now, it will cost a lot if you have 3 of those mods. So yeah, just try to find something that fits your build. And they said the mine throwing speed is the best, and then life is always cool. So because we don't have a lot of life on this build, but we're still fine. And I'll talk about a bit of the life. Alright, so this is for the leveling trees. You can check them yourself. Uh, the build is extremely fast, super good clear, one of the best clear I have ever played as a league starter, and also extremely easy to gear, extremely cheap. Um, I'll go over the gear in a bit, but first I want to talk about one caveat of this build. It's that it has a downside, which is it takes a big chunk of life whenever you're throwing down your mines, because Exsanguinate doesn't use mana, it uses life instead. So you have to find a way to make up for this loss of life. So early on we are taking Kikazaru, but this is only, in my opinion, this is a kind of a wasted ring slot, so we want to replace it. Of course, the reduced effect of curses on you is cool, but that's pretty much it. That it gives some resistance and some attribute, but it's not the best. So my fix for this is instead getting life regen on your belt. And if we look at it, if we check mods on jewelry and belts, you can see here the regen life, it can goes up to 128. So it's not as good as having it on the ring, but it leaves you with a ring slot, which in my opinion is way better than having being stuck with a okay-ish ring. It's cool because the effect of curse is also nice, but if you can replace it, it's even better. Or if you want, you can actually get it from your body armor, which is the best. But then again, crafting a body armor, what the most important part from your necrotic armor is that you want super high evasion and energy shield. So let's say we check for the dex and in body armor. As you can see here, the life regen goes up to 176. So it's even better on your body armor, but then again, as I said, on your prefixes you want a super high flat evasion energy shield plus the increased evasion energy shield as for the prefixes. And on the suffixes, hopefully you want to get a high tier of spell suppression. So it's demanding a lot, but if you want, you can put it on the body armor. It's worth noting that if you have life regen on your body armor, it has the life tag, so you won't be able to use the life mastery, which gives you a 15% increased life. It will not work. So if you hit that, make sure you actually also have life on the prefixes. That way, it kind of makes up for the loss of that mastery, which is extremely good. Alright, now let's talk about the gear. So for the weapon, you want a +1 to all physical spell skill gems, or +1 to all, and some spell damage. Then you craft on it a mine throwing speed if you have any open suffixes, and that's pretty much it for your weapon. If you get some like crit chance or global critical strike multiplier, it's even better, but it's not needed. It's just added gravy on it. For the shield, it's pretty much the same thing. You want a +1 all physical spell skill gems and then increase spell damage. It's worth noting that once you get Hrimsorrow, which I will talk about a bit later, increased spell damage or cold damage is the same. So yeah, one or the other. And then for the helmet, until you can get a heatshiver, which I'll talk a bit later again, you just want some generic resistance, life, and evasion, and energy shield. If you can, you can get some spell suppression on it too, but it's not needed because later down the road we'll change it with each shiver, which doesn't have any. So make sure you take that into account when you're trying to get to 100 spell suppression. Then on a 6 link here, I picked up a Sadix garb, but it doesn't need to be. You just want a bunch of evasion, so it's extremely important to have a super high evasion, because then again, we're a trickster and we're using the escape artist. So every 6 point here, that gives you 1 energy shield, but on the latest patch, it will be every 8 points instead. So make sure you have something better than this for the late game, but this is just an entry one. If you can pick up a 6 link and then just craft on it. The way you want to craft on the body armor is either using a 6 link and then reforging it with the RT crafting station with defense until you get something good out of it. Or what you can do is use your combinators, but this will take you way more time, and also it costs a lot to do so. But at the end game item will be better if you use recombinators. But as I said, if you want just a basic one, just use Reforge with RT crafting station defenses, and you should come up with something good at one point. Of course, you can pick up a 5 link at first and later down the road upgrade it to a 6 link. Next, we have some random gloves, but as I said, we'll be changing them. But yeah, just generic stuff. You want life and resistance, and if you can get spell suppression, cool. If not, it's fine because we'll be changing them anyway. So for the boots, again, life, resist, and spell suppression. This one will keep, so it's worth investing into crafting a good pair of boots. If you want, you can add some movement speed to it, but we're shield charging pretty much everywhere around, so it's not as needed. Of course, it's always cool to have more movement speed, but as you can see here, from the one I have, only have 20% movement speed, and it still does the job just fine. For the amulet, so later on the road, we will want the Dragonflight replica Dragonflight +3 to exsanguinate, but I think it will be pricey because last time I did a build guide on this, it went up to 20 divine for it. So what you can do is until you are able to afford it, or yeah, pretty much get a good amulet, what you can aim for is just getting a +1 to all fizz or +1 to all spell skill gems, and then some attribute on the implicits, plus fix your resistance if you need it, and some life. And it's a good starter. It's not too hard to come by. So as I said, one or the other, +1 to all fizz or +1 to all spell skill gems. And then you want, for the rings, pretty much the same thing. You want some life. You can fix your attributes if it's needed, because you need some strength for this build. So here I crafted strength, but it doesn't need to be on this exact piece. It can be on any pieces. And then the ring, as we talked about it earlier, but Kikazaru helps a lot for the life regen, especially when you start using Exsanguinate. I would suggest keeping this for a while until you are sure you can swap it over to something better, because the thing is you can get a lot of damage from your ring. So if you can get something, some like crit multi from your ring and stuff like that, and a bunch of life and resistance, it's actually better than Kikazaru. So yeah, well, we already went over the life regen. And on the belt, this is where you should be aiming to fix your strand, because you can get a belt with a strength modifier, and also heavy belt exists. So when you start, maybe you're not using a Stygian Vise, so just keep that in mind. This will do it, and as long as your resistance are capped, it's fine. Yeah. So for the flask, you can see them yourself, but you want to use a diamond flask, a quicksilver flask, a jade flask, and a silver flask. And if you need, you should be using a divine flask early on, but later down the road you can use a taste of fate instead, which gives you a bunch of damage, so it's extremely helpful. But for the quality of life, I would say using a divine flask with instant use and removing corrupted blood on use is really good. So yeah. For your suffixes on your flask, you want crit chance. It doesn't need to be on the exact same flask. It can be swapped around. But you want crit chance, movement speed, increase evasion, and also increase attack speed. So as I said, it can be on any flask, but if you have those modifiers tier 1, it's extremely good, and you won't have to replace it. And personally, I use the enchant that has a use charge when reach full. That way you only have to click one in your map and you just clear everything, and you don't have to press on your flask anymore. But up to you, whatever you want to do with your flask, but this is the setup I'm using. Alright, now let's talk about the Hrimsorrow. So this is an extremely common pair of gloves. It can be found in SSF easily, and in trade should be 1 chaos. It's a tier 5 rarity, so it drops all the time. If you want an implicit on it, a corrupted implicit, of course, maybe you'll have to pay more, especially the +1 frenzy charge, which is extremely good for this. But as an entry, you just want a base one, and yeah, the reason why we're running this is that it has 100% of physical converted to cold damage. The reason why this is so good is that since we'll be doing a lot of damage, we'll be chilling and freezing everything around us. So for 1 chaos, this is extremely good. Later on the road, you can craft some gloves which has up to 60% of physical converted to cold, using suffixes plus the implicit. I won't talk about this in this video, but with the mastery, you have a 40%. It goes up to 100% again. But yeah, this is just for the build guide for the entry level, but later on the road, you can upgrade those. And then the other unique we'll be getting is heatshiver. The reason why is that it gives a bunch of damage. So yeah, the gain 30% of cold as extra fire is extremely good. It used to be 100%, but yeah, that was busted. I think it only lasted 1 patch and 1 league, and then they fixed it. But with all that being said, I don't know what will be the price. Usually it's like 30-40 chaos at the beginning of the league, but it could be 1 or 2 divine. I can't really say for sure. It depends on how many people are playing this and if other content creators are using this helmet. But for us, it's extremely good, so it should be one of the first upgrade you actually do. And it's worth noting, as I said, it doesn't have spell suppression, so if you had any spell suppression on your helmet, try to fix it somewhere else. Alright, so now I just want to showcase a Uber Elder. The best thing about this is that it's actually a extremely good and fast mapper, as you saw at the beginning of the video, but it can also do bosses pretty easily. The reason why is that the Exsanguinate Mine will find the target. You don't actually have to aim at anything, so for someone like me who is not the best gamer, it's extremely useful. But if you want a boss, instead you can use Reap instead of Exsanguinate. It's even better because it has higher damage but less clear. And you can also use Vol Reap, so because it will climb up the stage of Reap, meaning you will get more damage. But yeah, either works. The cool thing about this, as I said, is actually extremely fast mapper, but if you want a boss, I would suggest going to Reap instead. And yeah, you can see here I have a bunch of life and energy shield. I don't even have a necrotic armor because this is a no build. Oh, I almost died there. The reason why is that I don't have the right ascendancy points. I don't have the one that gives you cannot be pulled below minimum value. If you want to do bosses, make sure you pick that one up. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty easy. I just have to dodge stuff and throw mines around. I don't have to check whatever I'm doing. Pretty much just trying to aim in a general direction, and Exsanguinate will find its target. So this is where I'll be starting. Hopefully this helps you. The cool thing about this build, as I said, is extremely fast. It ramps up pretty quick. It's cheap, and pretty much can do all content with it. So hopefully this helped you, and as always, take care, guys.